I wanted to update you a little earlier than this, really, on how the weaning process has been going. I'm sorry for whatever's reflecting back in my glasses. I think it's because I've got a mirror to the left of me, a Joker to the right. No, I don't know. But anyway, I'm sorry if that's off-putting. I might take my glasses off in a sec because it's pissing me off. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick update because I've just done 7 days on a lower dose, a 5 milligram reduction of escitalopram, with the end goal of coming off it after 4 weeks and being put on Clomipramine on the 26th of October. So today I took my first 10 milligram dose at 9:15 this morning with my alarm going off under me because I'd fallen asleep on my phone, because in order to get to sleep these days I have to do something ritualistic, something compulsive. So I fell asleep on the phone. Anyway, I still didn't hear it or feel it because I was full of diazepam and mirtazapine. So my heart was like, your alarm's going off. I was like, oh, right, okay. So I can't tell you how I feel yet today on the reduced dose, the further reduced dose of 10. What I can tell you is that a week on a reduction of 5 was fucking awful. Now, last November, I decided to come off this very same tablet after 9 years of the highest dose you can go on, which is 20. But I decided, no, I'm not going to wean myself off it. I just want it right out of my system. I read all the warnings online. Mark warned me. Mark was very concerned and warned me. My younger brother warned me. And I didn't listen because I now know I was more ill than I thought I was. I was iller, not getting better. That's why I thought I needed to come off this tablet. I've never been ill. That's part of what contributed to me having a breakdown. If you can hear licky noises, it's because of this madam here. It's not like me sort of like throw me voice or something. Anyway, I just want to tell you all that if you take an antidepressant because you've been prescribed it, I implore you, please do not come off it cold turkey. Now, I know it's very easy for me to say that, and you can't learn from my lessons. You can only learn from your own. In the same way as I didn't learn from anyone else's lesson. Oh, it would be different for me because I've never been ill. I've never ever been ill. I'm sorry, you can see a bit of bosom. So I thought it was different for me. But even if you think you're better and you don't need to wean, you do. Because the agony and the pain, last year I was unable to leave the bed for maybe 5 weeks, and someone online who had taken heroin as well as escitalopram, in fact several people, I've never taken heroin so I don't know, likened the withdrawal pain to withdrawing from heroin. Now that was cold turkey. Now lessening it by 5 has caused me so much skeletal-muscular pain. I can't describe it. The only time that it goes away is when I'm moving, which you think, oh, that's great, you'll get loads done. No, because once everything's done, you still want to move. There's no end to it. And it was worse, at its worst, on Monday, which was day 4, when I ended up ringing the psychiatrist, and I was just like, what can I do? And the options he gave me were to go on, stop escitalopram completely, go on Prozac and then wean off that because it's much less, it doesn't hurt to come off it. But that would be adding like over a month to this plan we've got. And I don't want to prolong the agony, if you like. If I can put up with this pain, I mean, you can see me here now, I'm sat here, I'm not crying. If I can put up with this pain, bless you, Calla, bless her with what, I don't know, then, I want to and I will. But on Monday, I was in absolute agony. Monday night, I was in absolute agony. Night times are really bad because obviously I'm still, when you're trying to get to sleep, you need to be still. My mood has dropped really tremendously. However, that, I suppose, now I will say that my anxiety has increased massively. I'm really sorry if I keep clearing my throat. I've got a postnasal drip. I've got a tonsil stone. And I have to keep, especially when I've just woken up, which I just have, as you may be able to tell from my smelly cat voice. I've just woken up. Anyway, so I can't remember what the fuck I was saying. Because diazepam. Oh yeah, and I'm on diazepam. I'm on the most you can be on a day safely, like without fucking up your liver, basically, which mine is already screwed. And it does nothing. It doesn't help with the pain. It doesn't help with anxiety because I'm addicted to it now because I've been on it since the 9th of April. I've only been taking the maximum dose for maybe a month and a half because I was like, no, I'm not going to take the maximum dose because I still thought medicine was the devil. So in a way it did me good. Well, it was good and bad in that it enabled me to be on it longer and still have good effects from it. But I was also causing myself anxiety when I needn't be because I should have just got, because the doctor was just like, just take the damn tablets, and I was like, okay. And I have done. And now I take them purely to break even, to not withdraw from those. So they don't help my anxiety whatsoever. And anxiety has increased. Now, I remember what I was going to say. I've got polycystic ovaries, so I can't predict my cycle. Oh, look at that bald patch. Let's just bring that down a little bit. So I can't predict, that looks like a nutty professor. So I can't predict my cycle at all. But I tried to. Going on things that, I don't want to get too graphic, but there are things that when you're ovulating, basically, is what I'll say. Now, if you try intentionally to ever get pregnant, you'll know what those are. If you don't, look it up. I don't know how graphic I'm going to be about that side of things yet. Maybe if I was to post a video with a warning, then I would. So I've had mood problems with reducing my medicine. Mood problems because I'm a nut anyway when I am menstrual. Mark's beard. Mark bore the brunt of it. And he deals with me so well. He knows just how to deal with me, which is to not ignore me because then that just makes me rage more, but to just give me enough of a response. And then obviously I always come and I know I'm a complete dick and I apologise to him. I went to the doctor's yesterday to get my diazepam prescription for the week. And while I was there, I found that headaches, the paracetamol, was the only paracetamol brand that works. Now, I know it's like targeted pain relief because it's called headaches. And I know that targeted pain relief is primarily bullshit. But what I do know to be true is that generic brands of some drugs aren't as effective as brands. And I know that to be true because of personal experience. And I know that to be true because of what a psychiatrist has told a friend regarding a medicine she takes. So we went all over town trying to find Headaches. We managed to find it in the pound shop. So I've been taking that every 4 hours, and that and movement are the only things that are stopping the pain. Yesterday, the last day on 15, I felt really restless, very anxious that Mark's going to leave me. Lots of intrusive thoughts, lots of bad dreams about loss, which I suppose makes sense as well because it's coming up for the anniversary of Siri dying. It'll be 11 years tomorrow. And it's not that I think of him more when the anniversary comes or when his birthday comes, or it's not, you don't think of them more, you just think of them in a different way. You think, wow, this time, however many years ago, like at the moment I'm thinking, this time 11 years ago, I know he was still alive because I visited him in the evening and I fed him his tea. And he spoke to me. And he wasn't fully with it yet because, well as not having finished with the withdrawal process, he was very ill. And he also had cerebral atrophy, which is brain shrinkage, which who knows whether he would have recovered from it and to what extent he would have done had they been treating him for the right illness, which I used to blame them a lot for not knowing. But his illness and the liver problems, which are most common in alcoholics, present many of the same symptoms. Anyway, I don't know how I've got on to talking about this. The fact is, he was a massive part of my life, and so at this time of year it is going to make its way into a video that I make. I was crying the other night in agony, and I did something that I shouldn't have done, which is take a couple of additional diazepam. Now, they're not going to kill me, but I shouldn't have done it because I didn't have the doctor's say so to do it. And I've confessed to my friend and I've confessed to Mark about it. I'm not going to do it again. I'm going to do what the doctors told me to do, which is Dr. Joe, that is, the psychiatrist, which is that if the pain gets too much, now that I'm on 10, if the pain gets too much, then tomorrow take 15, and the day after take 10, and then take 15, and then 10, and then wean that way. And then next Friday, go down to 5. And then if the pain gets too much on 5, go 5, 5, and then 10, 5, and then 10. And then when the week I'm on nothing and 5, nothing and 5, and so on. And then I have to look at, in that last week when I'm on no escitalopram whatsoever, I have to halve my mirtazapine. Escitalopram and Clomipramine are fatal together. Mirtazapine, I think its half-life is different, and so it's easier to get it out of your system. Also, he's kept me on the mirtazapine because it's meant to help you sleep a little. I suppose it does. And I suppose he didn't want me withdrawing from both medicines at once, which is prudent, sensible. And Dr. Joe's nothing but sensible. I had a right to do yesterday in Boots with... This woman served me. I was trying to buy Rimmel Stay Matte powder in translucent. It's the only thing that works in the T-zone to like control oil. I'm not an oily person at all, which is rare for someone who's like overweight and someone who's got polycystic ovaries. We usually acne riddled, so I'm jammy that I've just got a beard and no acne. I've not got a beard at the moment. I shaved it yesterday morning. Anyway, the woman said to me, you can't pay using your points. And I was like, oh, you used to be able to. And you did used to be able to. But I accepted it. And I was like, fine. And I looked at Mark. And the look I gave Mark was one of, have we got the money in the bank for me to pay $3.99 for a powder? But what I disguised the look as was, shall I just sort of wait? Because I don't want to show myself up and like, can we afford $3.99? You know, in the middle of boots. Anyway, we were umming and ahhing. And everything was fine. It was perfectly fine. The mood was lovely. The woman was nice in the way that she delivered the information. I accepted it. And then this twat woman on the till next to her. Well, you can't have ever part purchased because I've worked for Boots for 10 years. And we've never done that. The system won't allow you to do it. I said, well, I've been coming to Boots on my own for 20 years. Because I think when I was about 10 or 11, Mum allowed me to go to town on my own. I had no money to spend there. I chose to look. And then when I was 16, I became a Boots card holder. And I said, and for 14 years, I've held a Boots card. And 100% you've been able to make part payment. She was like, it's against company policy and the computer won't let you do it. I said, well, I don't care if it's against company policy and the computer now won't let you do it. But at one stage, the computer did let you do it because I've done it. And friends of mine have backed me up on that. Anyway, the woman had no reason to start being antagonistic or even join it. Like, me and this lady, we dealt with the situation at hand. I was making the decision whether to buy the powder. Anyway, in the end, I just like, I'm buying the fucking powder. And it was $3.99. Which isn't a lot to, like, you there, probably. And it's not a huge amount to me all the time. At the minute, it is because I've screwed up on bills because diazepam makes you forget. And it made me forget to add a bill to the calendar, which has completely thrown everything off. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do with with all that next month and plotting out the bills and when they come out, I think I'm going to liaise with Mark. Now, Mark has been feeling very down. Well, I say down. He's been feeling fucking depressed. He's not been feeling down. He's been feeling depressed. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's not use euphemisms. He's been depressed. But he came with me yesterday, which I really appreciated, actually. We also had some points to spend in Holland and Barrett, so I went and bought some agave nectar. Now, they let you use part payment. Yeah. We didn't need to, though, because the agave nectar was like £3 something, and it is absolutely gorgeous stuff. If you're a fan of golden syrup or treacle, or date syrup, or golden syrup even, any syrup, if you're a fan of it, try it, because this is lower GI, so it's not going to spike your blood sugar levels. Obviously, I'm not like drinking it out the plastic bottle or anything. I'm just putting a little bit on my cereal in the morning, and it helps sweeten it up, and because I have walnuts and they've got quite a bitter taste, so helps sweeten it up. So I really like that. So yay for Holland and Barrett for accepting part payment with vouchers. Yeah, go on, fellas. We had £5 something points, and that was £3 something. So we bought a couple of quinoa bars. Shut up, Calla. Which are like quinoa, little cacao nibs, and I think they do have a very tiny amount of cane sugar in them. But what we do is we just buy one, break it in half, split it, and that's our treat for the week, basically. I mean, I know you can tell I've lost weight. I mean, that's another thing. I also was weighed at the doctor's, and I tried both scales. One of them said that I'd lost 3 kilos since last weigh-in, and the other one said that I'd lost 1 kilo. I had a very heavy purple jumper on. Excuses. So I'm going to go down the middle and take the 2 kilo loss, which means I've lost 5 kilos in total, which means I am, I think, bang on 100 kilos now. So I've lost 5 kilos total, which is not bad, is it? And it's 12 weeks and 2 days since I started doing it all. And I'm doing slow and steady wins the race because I don't want to end up with a lot of loose skin. I don't want to go into starvation mode. I could lose, if I wanted to, I could lose half a stone and come back to in a week. But then I could go and eat a meal or two and it'd all be gone. It'd all be put back on again. That's not what I want to do. I want healthy organs. It's not as much as a woman or a human being, because men care about how they look too. Let's not forget that. As much as I want to look nice. It's not that I don't want to look fat. I just want to look nice. To me, fat, now I'm learning, fat isn't ugly. Fat is just fat. You can be a fat and beautiful person. You can have a beautiful face and be fat. You can have a hideous face and be fat. You can have a hideous face and be thin. You can have a gorgeous face and be thin. But you can also be an absolutely disgusting person on the inside, whether you're fat or thin. So really, fat doesn't equal ugly or attractive. It simply equals what you view about yourself and perhaps what the opposite sex or the same sex, if you are not hetero, because we all have our, on first sight, we all have our, like, oh, I really like the way he looks because of his eyes, or I really like the way he looks because of his muscle. Now, for me, I've never been like I really like muscles. I don't hate muscles. If Mark, because I love him now, say if Mark decided he wanted to start like bodybuilding or whatever, I'd still love him. I'd still fancy him because I love who he is as a person and I fancy who he is as a person. But I'm on about like attractiveness on first sight, because that is what draws you to someone, isn't it? Now with Mark, what drew me to Mark was we were friends online for 6 months, so I got to know him as a person. So I fell in love with him as a person. I knew what he looked like because we used to Skype all the time. And though I absolutely fancy Mark, that is, I don't know, it becomes more, the longer you're together, the more secondary looks become, I suppose. And I'm telling myself that although Mark fell for me when I weighed 18 stone, I have to tell myself that he's still going to fancy me when I'm 12 stone or 11 stone, because if I don't, I'm going to go radio rental. Anyway, well, I already am radio rental. I am going to film a Q&A at some point. I've got quite a lot of questions in now, and some really interesting ones, and I've written loads of notes on it. That was one thing that kept me occupied over the weekend, last weekend. So there'll be a video coming on that at some point. I can't say when. I can't commit to it. If I could commit to something, I'd have a job. I've got a hair in my mouth. Or as Siri used to say, I've got a head of the death. Oh, bless him. Yeah, and I also want to film like some weird, like makeup-y style videos. I've got another freaking hair in my mouth. Bear with me. No, I haven't got it. I'm just going to have to accept it and then deal with it once the camera's off. What was it talking about? I can't remember. I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh, hello, Cal. Hiya. You going to say hi to Mum? You going to say hello to the internet? Say hi to Facebook? Say hi, Facebook. Say hi, possibly YouTube. Oh, and she's very much expecting the postman, so she's being a crazy. She's being mental. She's being radio rental like Mum. See, it must be nurture, not nature, because I know this is going to come as a surprise to you, but I'm not actually her birth mother. We took her in when she was 8 weeks old. I say took her in, we bought her. Got the hair. Yay. If only I could remember what I was talking about. Yay. Anyway, if I do, I'll write it in the comments. Anyway, I appreciate you watching all my videos. Oh yeah, I've just remembered what I was going to say. I was also going to do, now a few years ago, I was like obsessed to the point of OCD, and it was OCD, I'm not just using that term lightly, with OPI nail varnishes and other nail varnishes. Now a lot of them are spoiled because I've kept them incorrectly, and I'm going to do a clear out. I'm thinking of filming that because you'll get an idea of what the colours look like, the names are fun, It might just be an interesting video if you give a shit about nail varnish. Obviously, it's not just going to be me going, and here's green grape. You know, it's going to contain me chatting shit like it always does. So we'll see how it goes. God, I'm so proud of myself for remembering that. Vamos! It's almost painkiller time. I'm going to go get some breakfast now. Probably Oatibix, walnuts, desiccated, unsweetened coconut, pine nuts, and some of that beautiful agave syrup. Now, we bought like loads of nuts and seeds and dried fruit ages ago, and we've kept it in this Kilner jar that I got from TK Maxx, and it's kept really well. So we just like get a tablespoon of this mixture that I've made and just put it on whatever cereal, and it's great. And yeah, anyway, I've woken up a bit now. Look, if you look at me at the start of the video and at the end, I've woken up a bit. The Sandman's been though, so I need to generally clean myself. In fact, it might be bath day today. What do you reckon? Bath and hair wash, maybe? That's the trouble. My hair's having one of those really poofy days. I slept with it in a French plait, so it's having like a really good volumized day. And it doesn't smell, but I'm just trying to keep my scalp healthy because I've been really trying to stop picking at it, and keeping it in a French plait stops me picking at it. Anyway, I've got to go. I keep saying this and doing the delayed goodbyes. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. You hang up. No, you hang up.